Welcome everybody. If you guys are watching, joining us, welcome to the episode number 11. This is the Pro Hustlers TV, and we have a special guest with us here. I'm super excited. Winston, we call him Winston, the speaker, and we're going to go through some of the questions. But if you guys are just joining us, you've never seen the show, make sure you comment below. Let us know where you're coming from, what part of the world you're watching from, and just be engaging. Let us know if you're getting a little bit of value. Awesome. So Winston, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know you've been traveling a lot and speaking on different events and stuff like that. And one thing I want to bring up with you is that every time someone comes on here, we want to hear about you. Who is Winston, and what do you actually stand for?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me on the show. It's a pleasure to hang out with you over here on this platform and also to speak to your group. And definitely, if anybody's got any questions, then drop them in and we'll try and pick them up during this conversation. And in terms of who I stand for, what I stand for me, I have a mission, and my mission is to help as many people as I can to overcome their limitations. And how I do that is through my public speaking. So, like you touched on, Rafa, we met during one of my speaking events over there in Canada. And I've actually got my biggest mission is to actually eventually connect with 1 billion people and help them use their story, use their struggles, and turn those things into lessons to help them move forward in life and in business.
That's awesome. You know what? And that's what sometimes, like I said, we talk about having an ability to, impact and make that change. For you to, have that goal of 1 billion people, that's a lot. And I know you'll be able to do it because I've seen what you are capable of and how well you speak. And you were actually on a TEDx, weren't you?
I did a TEDx talk. It's on YouTube and it's had a lot of views. I think last time we checked, it was about 50,000 views. So that's pretty cool. And, I've had so many messages from people, Rafael, people from all over the world, Mexico, Colombia, Australia. They've sent me messages to say that they were touched, they were inspired by my story, because in that TEDx video, I talk about a lot of the
Yeah.
struggles that I had growing up and some of the biggest lessons which I was able to take away. So for anybody watching, if you feel like you want to be inspired a little bit, or maybe you're facing a limitation right now and you want to know how to turn that obstacle into an opportunity, then definitely check out that TEDx video.
You have an amazing story. And I remember first time I heard it because we connected before the event, and I know Angela is, one of your cousins there, and it's, I've been her mentor for the last couple of years, and then we connected, and you ended up coming to Calgary, which was so cool to meet you at that time. And you were telling your story, and I listened to the TEDx. And so if any of you guys have not had a chance to check it out, maybe message Winston or myself, we'll send you the link. But it was so inspiring because a lot of people, they have everything, but they complain about every other things. Like, there's so many people coming into this, and they're like, well, I don't like the job or I think, and you have so many other obstacles that some people, like, they'll be like, there's no, like, how do you go through all of that and you still be so inspiring and to be able to change people? And it's so cool to have that. And, and I know a lot of people, we talked about, why do you think people have that fear of failure? Because when we start out in anything, we, we just like, well, what if I fail? Or they make every excuse possible. What do you think of that?
Yeah, it's a good point. And to be honest, I'm not going to sit here and say that I never have the fear of failure. I have the same fear of failure that maybe you have, or for anybody watching, because when you're about to try something different or try something bigger than what you've been working on so far, there is that apprehension, there is that anxiety, and there is those feelings of what if I fail? Or what if everything goes wrong and, I'm embarrassed, I lose money, or people make fun of me?
Oh, it froze up a little bit there. So we'll get you back there.
Unfortunately, we're not able to progress in the things that we're trying to achieve in life and in business.
I'm not sure if it froze up there, but I lost you there for 30 seconds there, or for 3 seconds, sorry. So we're good. Awesome. Okay. Now I know you're an entrepreneur. You've been speaking gigs, you have your own online business, you have your digital business, and is everyone cut out to be an entrepreneur? Because I love asking that question.
Being an entrepreneur, so there's this image almost of what an entrepreneur is that you see on social media. So if you go on Facebook, Instagram, and there's lots of people who call themselves entrepreneurs, and they'll post pictures of them on holiday or on the beach every day or drinking expensive champagne, driving a big car. And, perhaps, they've been able to work for many years to get to that level and to build that kind of life. But what tends to happen is that for new entrepreneurs or for people who are thinking about stepping into entrepreneurs, they see the champagne, they see the swimming pool, they see the big car, and they think, being an entrepreneur, it's easy, it's fun. You just do a bit of work and then you can have a big house and a swimming pool. But actually, being an entrepreneurship is a lot of hard work and it involves a lot of testing. I would say that's the biggest thing because even if you have an idea, 9 times out of 10, that idea will not unfold the way you've pictured it in your mind. You're going to have to be open to trying new things, to testing, to failing, and then using that failure as feedback to actually get you closer to your business goal.
Oh, that's it's amazing how many people, like, they do see everyone, some people, don't get me wrong, some of those people that are showing off the cars, they just rented it out and they're pretending to be someone else. But there are people that actually have the results. They don't see the last 10 years or 2 years or 5 years. They think that, oh, in the last 5 months, they actually reached things. It takes time. It takes a lot of dedication. People don't see the struggles that they go through and the hassle, the sacrifice to get to that level. There's no magic button. They're going to press some buttons. You're going to make millions. Okay. If there is, please let me know. But if you guys are here watching with us right now, comment below. Let us know where you guys are from. Love to hear it. If you guys are getting a little bit of value, give me an emoji, give me a thumbs up. It's awesome to see. And like, everyone has struggles, and I know I have struggles. You have struggles. What are your current struggles right now? Maybe in your business, or maybe the things that you're working on.
Yeah, as an entrepreneur, I think the constant, I don't know if I'd call it a struggle, but I would say there's a constant striving of attracting new clients by giving as much value as you can. So in terms of entrepreneurship, you become successful by solving problems or by giving value. And I think where maybe some entrepreneurs get it wrong is they focus too much on what they need to get back in terms of finances, in terms of the money side of things, when actually they should reframe that into how much value can I give or what kind of problems am I solving? Perhaps if you're not making the kind of financial success that you hope to make, then maybe you're not solving big enough problems, right? So for me, it's that whole constant idea of challenging myself and making sure that I'm giving value, but at the same time, I'm solving those big problems that will enable me to be successful as an entrepreneur.
And that's so true that, like, we all go through different things. I love the way you said it's not really a struggle. It's more about, what is it that you're actually going through. And a lot of times, if you have a challenge, if you have something that is coming through, is you just have to basically don't look at it as a struggle, look at it as a challenge. And what is it that I can do? How can I fix it? And that's what a lot of entrepreneurs that are successful are actually looking in a way that, yeah, this is not working. How can I make it work? So
yeah, and thinking outside the box.
It is, and we talked about mentors, having a real actual mentor that is going to actually help you and guide you, be going to be honest with you, and when you need to get the constructive feedback, you're going to get it. When you actually need help, how important do you think in your business or in your life it is to have a mentor?
For me, having a mentor is probably one of the most critical things for me to ensure success in my business because a mentor not only gives you advice and strategies in terms of how to deliver and implement your business, but they actually hold you accountable, right? And for me, a good mentor, like you say, is somebody who doesn't allow you to bullshit yourself because you might get a mentor who you become so friendly with that they're actually scared to give you that constructive criticism that you sometimes need
Yeah.
when you're not doing things the right way. So for me, a good mentor is of course supportive, encouraging, and all those good things. But at the same time, they recognize when they need to be a bit firm with you and when they need to force you to step up to your full potential.
Oh yeah, you need the kick in the butt once in a while as well too. So we all do. And if you guys, for the viewers that are watching right now, how many of you guys think that give me a yes or a no, that mentor is really important? Thumbs up, stuff like that. So And what would you say is the most significant difference between working for yourself or working for someone else? Because there are people, our viewers that are watching right now, they have a job or maybe they have a business, maybe they're doing these things as a side hustle. How important do you think it is? What is the difference between it?
Yeah, and you know what? I wouldn't say one is better than the other. So working for yourself, I wouldn't say is necessarily better than working for somebody else. It just depends on who you are. And for some people, the first option might be better. For some people, it might be the second option. But I think for me, the difference with working for myself is, first of all, the freedom to know that I am in charge of my own affairs. This is my business. I am fully accountable. And for some people, they might be concerned because they might think, because you're fully in control now, you don't have a CEO to answer to, you don't have a manager, then that also means that you're also fully accountable for the results. So whether your business is successful or whether your business fails, it all depends on you. But for me, and I think for many entrepreneurs, we thrive under that pressure. And I think that's what forces you to up your level and to be more creative. And then the other thing is, just the ability to shape your future, right? So you don't have a boss, a manager, a company telling you, directing your career. You get the freedom to say, this is who I want to be in 5 years. As a speaker, I want to reach 1 billion people in the next 10 years. So you get to shape your long-term strategy. You have more freedom to do that than if you're working on somebody else's company. But on the other hand, working for somebody has, extra security and you have extra benefits, which you don't necessarily get being an entrepreneur. So again, you have to look at yourself and see what fits well with who you are and your situation.
Oh, that's so awesome. Actually, I was just reading through a book. I met actually Caleb. This book here, if you guys haven't had a chance to pick it up, is The Assets by Caleb Going. And then here, and he's the young entrepreneur, basically. He's really, really, and he wrote something, and I'm going to ask you this question. It's just right in the introduction. It's like, so it says that when you actually get, let's say the money was not an issue. I actually posted that question on page. If money was not an issue, what would you be doing with your life right now? Question. It's simple, but a lot of people is like, I have a lot of different answers. So maybe put in the comments if you guys are watching this right now. And it's such a powerful question because if you didn't have to go to work, you have all the money, what would you be doing with your life? A lot of people say, well, I'll go shopping, or I'll go buy this, or I'll take care of my family. I had one person wrote down, I'm gonna buy diamonds, So, but think about honestly and like ask yourself that question, what would you, and put in a comment, would love for you to share, be honest with yourself and let us know, because a lot of times we don't think about it that way because we have to work for that money. We have to work for the things. But what if a lot of people, when they win the lottery, what would they do with the money? They don't know, because in 5 years they go bankrupt because they go buy all those things you don't need and stuff. So love to hear from you guys. Thank you guys for, if you just joining, welcome to the Pro Hustler. We have a special guest here with us. Winston is the speaker. He's been a TEDx speaker and he's been already speaking. I think you're saying you're heading to Belgium now. You're originally, right now, you're living in UK, London. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, I'm based in London, but I'm all over. So hopefully I'll get to come to one of the cities where your viewers are based.
There you go. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on this guy because you're gonna see him speaking on stages, and next thing you know, maybe you'll come out and speak with maybe Tony Robbins, who's gonna be right on the stage with you. So that's
Amazing.
so cool. Okay. And since you started running your business, what is the biggest lessons that you have learned when you were launching your own business?
For me, it's been patience, and I think this is something that we've talked about previously as well. So, when somebody has a brand new business idea, you get really excited and you're fully energized because in your mind, in your vision, in your dream, you have the idea of how everything is going to unfold. But it's actually when you sit down on your computer, on your laptop on day one, and you start implementing things, that you realize that things don't necessarily go according to the dream that you had last night. So for me, patience has been a big thing. And the other thing has been to detach from the how. So people worry a lot about how the business will unfold in terms of the details. So I need to talk to this type of client. I need to sell this product. I need to speak to this type of audience. But when you kind of detach a little bit from the how, it lets the universe play its part and bring the right people, the right opportunities, the right products to you at the right time. So it's good to go in with a firm idea of what you want to do, but at the same time, have that flexibility to be open to new opportunities that might be presented to you.
Yeah, and so amazing how many times where we guys just start a business and we're all excited and all of a sudden something goes wrong and I go, what do I do now? And that's so cool, to see. And for any of you guys that are watching right now, entrepreneurs, you probably went through some of the same things. You learned so many different things. It's so cool to see every side of every single story because every person is a unique. Everyone has different goals. Everyone has different things. And one of the questions that I always get from my students and my clients, they're telling me, it's like, well, so one of the questions sometimes they ask is, what is it, or how do I make money? How much I want to make money? It's asking the right questions. You want to be successful, ask the right questions. And I don't know, Winston, would you agree with this?
I think that's important. And the other thing that I've noted as well is there are entrepreneurs and people who I've come across who have, even some of them have a really good product. Some of them even have a product that's better than mine, but they are reluctant to put themselves in front of a prospect, a client, a lead, because they don't want to have a sales conversation, right? But how are you gonna make your business successful if you're not willing to build relationships and show people the value that you have to give? So yes, definitely ask the right questions, and more importantly, just keep getting yourself, your message, your brand out there and connect with as many people as possible, because you can never go wrong when you reach out and build relationships.
That is so cool. And I know so many people are like, I don't know sales. Ask yourself this questions. Have you ever tried to get your kid to eat something? Have you ever maybe, told someone about the movie that you really like? You're constantly promoting, you're constantly selling. It's just you're not getting paid for it. So what you can do is you can find some way, find some program, maybe some find system, maybe get into what we do. We do in affiliate marketing, digital marketing, social media. All of us are on Facebook right now. You guys are watching on Facebook. How good would it feel instead of scrolling through Facebook? It was actually pretty crazy. I got some stats and they were saying, I think you scroll like 14 miles a day. Like literally, like if you take your screen and screen it, like people are scroll so much on Facebook and Instagram. And if you combine it all, it was like some stats were like 14 miles. Imagine what you could do. And imagine if there's a way you guys see those sponsor advertising. This is what people do, and like this is what we actually do is advertising and doing affiliate marketing. And there's different ways, there's tons of ways of doing business, but one of the biggest mistakes that I think entrepreneurs do when they first start out is they don't stick with it. Like you were talking about patience, they don't stick with what they do and they jump from one area. Oh, well, this is better. Oh, there's a new thing, I'm gonna go right here, I'm gonna go try this out. No, I'm gonna go here. Oh, this is gonna work so good. Oh, it didn't work, let me try this. Stick with one thing, master one thing, do your research, find out what it is, and you see how successful you'll be. And that's one thing I noticed with a lot of people that are successful in this online space, and having the ability to be able to, provide and help, but you have to master that skill and stop jumping from one opportunity to another, because it's not going to make you, the ultimate dream. You're going to make a little bit of money here, but you're not going to get to the point where you want to be. So
yeah, that's true. And that kind of ties back to what we said in the beginning about people comparing their 5 months to somebody else's 5 years, right?
yeah.
So you look at an entrepreneur and you see he has, all the success, and you expect to have instant success, even though you've only been working on it for a few months. So patience, so important. Just keep pushing and keep showing that resilience, even when things are not going perfectly.
Yeah, and I know so many people that starting here, in the space that we're in, the platform that we're using. A lot of times they'll hop on and they'll have bigger results than a person that maybe started before them, but they don't realize that they had experience, they have the knowledge 2 years, 3 years, 4 years before that, and they actually put in the effort. We'd always talk about mindset, talk about how you have to work and read books and different things like that. So maybe let's just get into this here. What is your most favorite book that you would suggest for someone to maybe to read, or anyone else that is watching right now?
Yeah, I like a lot of books, but one that's feeling really present to me right now is a book called Grit, and it's by somebody called Angela Duckworth. And this just explores the idea of resilience, which is actually the main topic that I speak about to audiences. So it explores the topic of resilience, and it talks about how resilience in many cases is actually more important than having a talent and having a flair for doing something in order to achieve success. So if you're resilient, and that includes things like being patient, taking the right advice and trying different strategies when things go wrong, you actually have more chances of being successful than, for example, if you just have all the knowledge from all the textbooks in the world. So it's definitely a good book to read for entrepreneurs because entrepreneurship is full of adversity and it advises you on how you can take the lessons from that and keep pushing forward toward your goal.
Yeah, that is so true. And one thing, when I was just at an event in Orlando, and one of the biggest things that, for any of you guys, if you learn something, implement it. And a lot of times we learn things, we collect things. I've done it. We go into it, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'll do it next time, I'll do it later. And you collect those things, but you never implement. Implement things right away, because I know they always talk about content is the king, but actually now it changed. The distribution is the king, content is the queen. You know what I mean? So that's why, shooting those value videos, and you see a lot more from us that, we're going to provide you guys with some content and value. And for you guys that are watching right now, maybe you watch a replay, comment replay. I would love to see, maybe what struggle, message us, let us know. And, I know right now we're actually just talking about Winston because I've been working on Instagram and learning a lot of different aspects. And it was just so weird. Me and Winston look at our content. I'm getting about 100 to maybe to 200 followers a day, and I've been growing it for last. I started about a month and a half ago. So, and Winston, we look at it. Literally, he had 7,027 followers, and I had 7,028 followers. So I realized I didn't follow him back. So literally, we had when I followed him, we had 7,028 followers each for about a few minutes until I started going there. So for all of you guys that are following me, you guys can see up here, reach out and stuff like that. Love to see you guys. Love to see for you guys to journey. And obviously, Winston, I'm taking you off. It's so cool. We actually
so random. So random.
I'm gonna post that on there. It was just the weirdest, like the timing, everything else was there. So that's so awesome. Winston, thank you for being here, guys. I know you guys have some posts here, so let me just see some of the questions, comments here that you guys pop up here. So, Kate, thanks for watching. Raya, thank you for being here. Kate is actually from Brandon, Manitoba, Canada. We have Raya from Burns Lake. We have a whole bunch of people. We were talking about how important it is to have a mentor. Okay, there you go. You get Ashley. Actually, Ashley Martin is one of the advisor for one of our platforms here. That's awesome. And she's talking about how it's important it is to have the, it makes a huge difference. And Raya actually took a second and she said, I would be leaving without financial stress and to be able to travel the world with my family and volunteering the time. See, that's more specific, and that's awesome. Thank you, Raya, for sharing that. Because you know what, a lot of times, we don't have specifics because we don't think we deserve it. We don't deserve to have all this abundance and the wealth coming your way, but that's so cool because now you get to actually see and have that financial stress, because a lot of us are struggling financially, and we have bills coming in, and how good would it feel to have more checks coming in than the bills?
and that's true about being specific. It's so important because the universe gives you what you go after. So for example, if I was to focus my vision and my goal setting around making money, then technically if somebody gave me $1 or £1, which is our currency here, then I've been given money, right? So the universe has done its work. So it's about being super specific, what amount of money, how many days do you want to travel, what kind of life do you specifically want to create for your family? So having that 100% clear vision that you can almost feel, the sand between your toes on the beach, and making that really specific and putting that out there, that's what actually makes it closer to the reality when the goal actually happens for you.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Then I would, like, when I was talking about this book here that I was just started reading to Caleb was talking about, and we actually did our one, like, videos that we did, value videos, and he was saying one thing is, and like an advice for a 15-year-old or maybe some of the kids or things, what is $1 compared to the $1? So $1 that you actually save, it's actually more than $1 because you're going to compound the effect. But $1 that you actually spend, it actually costs you more than $1 because it's you could actually reinvest all that and put it in there. And it's actually pretty cool to have that. So yeah, I would love you work with Winston. So maybe just maybe double check. Ashley was just wondering about that book that you were saying. So if you can maybe tell us again what book it was.
Yeah, the name of the book is Grit, Grit. The author is Angela Duckworth. I think it's DuckWorth.
Awesome.
We can post it in the comments as well.
Okay, sounds good, buddy. So anyways, and if anyone wants to reach out to you, what is your Instagram? What is your, where can they get you? I know you're the
I'm everywhere, Rafael. So actually, the best place to go is just go on my website, which is winstonclements.com. And on the website, it's got all my social media handles. So, you can find me on Facebook, Insta, YouTube. And actually, I've got a bunch of new videos coming to YouTube. So definitely subscribe. And yeah, so just start off on the website, winstonclements.com. And I look forward to hearing from as many of you as possible. Be really cool.
Well, we're going to keep an eye on this for the next 10 years because you are going to reach so many people. Again, congratulations on the TEDx. Congratulations on all the achievements. And I know you've been working with me closely as well. I'm excited to be, helping you and mentoring you as well through the process. We learn from each other. So thank you guys for watching. Again, if you guys had just watched a replay, comment bit here, put out the favorite emoji. Hopefully you guys get a little bit of value learning here. And then we'll chat with you guys soon. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.